Yeah, that's his view. That's his view. He said necessity, but also somewhere else he said, like I said to you yesterday in the other link, um, he said that it opened up the doors to fitna, and it should be avoided. So we have to understand what necessity is. Necessity is when there is no other option left, and there is a great deal of harm that is being, afflicted on the person. If they can bear it with patience, then there is no necessity. If there is an alternative, then there is no necessity. Necessity is when there is a great deal of harm and there is no other option left. So based on the Uthaymeen's view, it has to be based on necessity. However, I mean, it's not about us, fatwa shopping or something like that. I mean, you're always going to find differences of opinions. Even when it comes to mas'ala in aqidah like this, what you have to end up following is what is closer to the Kitab and the Sunnah. And if you look at the fatwa from Bin Baz, Albani, the Mufti, Fawzan, and the list goes on, most of the scholars have said that it is not allowed because of the generality of sihr being kufr and shirk. The Messenger of Allah said that if you go to a kahin, وتصدق بما يقول, and you believe in what he has said, فقد كفر بما أنزل على محمد, and the person has disbelieved in what was revealed upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In another hadith, his salah will not be accepted for 40 days. So I mean, what they have said is that, and there's another argument that Fawzan mentions, is that if tadawi bil haram, for example, taking medication which is haram is not allowed, then how about going to a kahin? And also in the other link that we sent before, we said what they mean. Before he says that it's allowed as a darura, one of his students, who is actually one of the scholars here, Khalid Muslim, can recognize his voice, he was actually saying to the Shaykh, is that what does that Nushrah actually mean then? As in, like, how do we know that he is doing Nushrah? How do we know that he's not doing something else? How do you know that you're going to go to a Sahir, you think that he's going to help you, but he's actually not going to help you? How do you know that's the Sahir that knows about your Sihr? How do you know that it's not? There's so many different, variables that are involved in this situation. So that's why his student was basically saying these questions to say, okay, well, doesn't that lead for us to say that it's haram? And then the Shaykh was actually accepting it, but then the very end he says it's only allowed out of necessity. So based on all of that, even if I don't think he's easygoing on it. I don't think he's saying that a person can do it and should do it, but he is saying that it can be a legitimate option if there is a pressing need, and everything else has been, tried out. But like I said, that's his opinion. For me, what seems to be a stronger view is that it is not allowed at all. And like we said yesterday, what seems to be the case, and this has been mentioned by others from the ulama, Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah mentions this as well, that he makes Nushrah into two types, no third type. Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah, he said Nushrah, which is Ja'iz, and Nushrah, which is Muharram, and that's it. And the Ja'iz one is where you use Ruqya, and you use Dua, and you use those things which are permitted and allowed in the religion. And the Nushrah, which is Muharram, which is obviously the one that involves shirk. Some of the ulama have had a third type added to it, and this is because of the statement of Sa'id ibn Musayyib, that if there is a necessity for it, Now this goes back to us understanding the statement of Sa'id ibn Musayyib, because now we're using him and his understanding as basis to create a necessity. Does that make sense? Because before, if we didn't have the statement of Sayyid ibn Musayyib, would you have anyone from the Salaf saying that there is a necessity? And he says no. Ibn Mas'ud كان يكره من كلها. He used to dislike all of it. Meaning dislike now when it comes to the Salaf means that it is haram. Therefore, we've got the statement of Sayyid ibn Musayyib. That then becomes basis for us to say, okay, well, there's an understanding from the generation of the Salaf to say that there is a darura. However, Ibn Qayyim, what is apparent from his speech, is that he hasn't accepted that as a darura. Therefore, the statement of Sayyid ibn Musayyib, where he says that you can لا ينفق السحر إلا بالسحر, that a sihr cannot be opened up except through sihr, and Sayyid ibn Musayyib's statement on that is that Sayyid ibn Musayyib is basically saying here that sihr cannot be removed except through the Nushrah which is Jaiz. The Nushrah which is Jaiz. And I know that might seem a bit far-fetched in this interpretation, but this is how some of the ulama have interpreted it. The point that I'm making though is that you've got a statement from Sayyid ibn Musayyib that is up for debate as to how you understand that. And some of the ulama have said, no, there is no darura, even with the statement of Sayyid ibn Musayyib. And if we were to take that, then there is an ijma' from before Sayyid ibn Musayyib, from the Kitab and the Sunnah, based on the Kitab and the Sunnah, should I say, from the Salaf, that you are not allowed to go to the Sahir. So the chapters before this in Kitab al-Tawheed, we have statements from companions, and the Messenger of Allah, he said, had the Sahir, darbun bis-sayf. The punishment for the Sahir is to basically chop his head off. So if that's the punishment, this is one of the arguments that's been used by the Mufti, Shaykh Aziz al-Shaykh. He says, if that's the punishment for the Sahir, how can we let the Sahir go for him to aid us in the Nushrah? That makes sense. Once you found a Sahir, that's the punishment. That's what should be done upon him. Not that he gets to live another day so that he can help you in your case. That's proof in itself to say that there is no such thing as Nushrah when it comes to darura. So this is the point that I'm making here. The first point I'm making is that yes, there is difference of opinion, but the point that I'm coming to is to say that there is no permissibility in it, is because there are so many different things in the Sharia which shows to us that the sihr is something which is shirk in and of itself, and you can't make shirk in order to remove harm. You can't get closer to Allah via doing shirk. You cannot seek ilaj and a cure via doing shirk. And also technically speaking, and how the Sharia works, is the statement of one of the tabi'een. Can that be used as daleel? If yes, what's the understanding? If the understanding has a different interpretation with other ulama, can we still take the other alternative understanding? These are all things which are involved in this discussion. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for the brother. Allahu a'lam.